Hi everybody, Pat Moody here once again with another edition of Moody on the Move. We're taking across the region to businesses and places of interest to get the story behind the scenes. Today, a truly unique business that we've all driven by dozens, if not hundreds of times. We take you inside St. Joe Monument Works. Moody on the Move is made possible by Midwest Family and Little Red Fern Productions, focused on video storytelling and driving engagement towards building brands. You can watch anytime online at moodyonthemove.com. You know, when we talk about wrapping up a plan, we frequently use the phrase, etch it in stone. Well, Ryan Mishler and his crew at St. Joe Monument Works here on Napier Avenue near I-94 help folks like you and I every day to etch things in stone to memorialize those who have passed through their amazing work with monuments and markers, large and small. Today, Ryan and his right hand, Crystal Blevins, who is here as well, are here to explain the process and showcase the remarkable art and imagery that they craft every day for families all across our region and, for that matter, all across the United States. Ryan, clearly we can see what I would call clip art pretty much every day. But your team is focused on what we like to call next level personalization for memorials and all of the work that you do in your drive to provide an incredible, one-of-a-kind piece for the families that you serve. I know for you it's the relationship process, Ryan, and for Crystal, you take great pride in problem solving. So let's talk about your obvious love for what you do and why you do it in the manner in which you do.
Well, I grew up in the funeral business. I'm a licensed funeral director, and that's all about service. I just want to take that aspect over to the monument side, so you're not just buying a piece of granite, because you can get a piece of granite anywhere. We all use the same quarries. For me, it's what's on the stone. It tells a person's story, their interests, their hobbies, and so we try to do a lot of personalization on the stone. So what you're really getting here is the personalization of the monument, not just a piece of granite.
So, Crystal, that problem solving that you go about is really getting down to the micro level with people who come in and working with them on all the fine details.
Yeah. So one of my favorite aspects of the client is getting to help them create a very personalized memorial for their loved one, whether that's a big or small stone, and being able to work within the constraints of space and budget. So whether, maybe dad had an apple orchard, and so we can carve an actual apple tree out of granite, or maybe mom loved mushroom hunting, and so we can hide a little morel on the front of the stone for you. But yeah, that's my favorite part.
That's it, and that's really cool. My brother passed last year, and a monument creator in the neck of the woods where he was living, his son asked him to create a stone because he was a huge fan of Scrabble, and he used Scrabble tiles to spell out his last name. So with the little numbers, that the tile would be worth. It was pretty cool. So that's exactly what you're talking about. That personalization means the world to people. But thousands of people see the incredible work of the St. Joe Monument team, not just in cemeteries across the region, Ryan, but also you have civic monuments across the region, historical markers, works of art all across our region. Tell us a little bit about some of those and the pride that your team had in creating those.
The monument that sticks out the most to me is a log cabin. It's a log cabin carved out of granite. There's two of them here in Southwest Michigan. We took one to Arkansas, and we took another one to Illinois.
And so, Crystal, we also see many civic monuments across the region. I know you're a fan of those.
Yeah, so we've got quite a few, actually. We've got one in Niles. I think there's one in Eau Claire as well. And but my favorite place to see those civic memorials locally is on the Bluff here in St. Joe. There's quite a few of them. So to me, that's like the best way to really honor those people that made those sacrifices. It's a tangible way to honor them through our work.
And there's so many there. You have representations from most of all of the major wars that we've gone through. Right. And of course, law enforcement is represented there as well. It's really a beautiful park, and you guys have done a remarkable job of helping us to hang on to the past as we move into the future. Well, just like the memorials that you're creating daily, the team here at St. Joe Monument Works is steeped both in legacy and longevity. You guys are 100 years old now. That's pretty amazing. A lot of businesses don't last anywhere near 100 years. And you recently acquired the assets of another longtime provider down the street, Vance Ferguson Memorials, and you're keeping their client records alive and available. So talk a little bit about that legacy that you bring to the table every day.
Well, first of all, it goes way back. Mr. Cooper, who had St. Joe Monument, and Mr. Ferguson from Ferguson Memorials, had a really good working relationship, so when we came in and took over, we just kind of continued that. We didn't really look at each other as competitors. We'd both been around for many years, and when I came, my family had been in the funeral business since the 40s and the monument business since the 70s. So for me, to come into a business that had been around, that's what was important, was the long-standing relationship that the business had with the community. And so that's why we don't change the name. We come in here and just continue to operate the same as the previous owners did. So we run each monument company differently because every community is different. So we go with what is customary in this community, and it was just a good fit when Mrs. Ferguson retired, and it's gone really well since.
Well, I started here in 1995, so I've been here almost 30 years, which being someplace for 30 years will give you experience. My main part is I'm local artist, and that's what I do here. I do art, so whatever needs attention or needs to be worked on, I usually do it. Every stone that comes through here has got my hand on it. But I do a lot of etchings, which is really unique because people can get really personal with their monuments, like their house, their dog. And then we do some gold leafing, which we put 23 karat gold in stones, which is pretty cool to me. It's different every day, so that's what's great about it.
You know, I love the fact that essentially if a family can, or a business for that matter, because you do things for businesses as well, you know, monument markers and so forth, can dream it, your team at St. Joe Monument can craft it. And you got some really interesting assignments through the course of the years. Tell us a little bit about some of those.
Yeah, most recently we were contacted by a former service member of the Coast Guard that was stationed here in St. Joe back in the 80s, I believe. And they commissioned us to recreate a memorial that had been lost. So we were able to replicate that artwork exactly from the stone that was originally created in the 80s to honor a very special service dog that they had there, a station dog named Holly Golightly. There are a few of us here that are dog people, so it was really great to be able to be a part of that project.
Yeah. Well, for those in the audience who would like to learn more, you have this amazing creation studio that we've been showcasing here during the show on Napier Avenue, and you always offer an open invitation to anybody to, because seeing is believing, you know, and we've all driven by here, as I said in the opening, many, many times, but you have the opportunity, if you're so inclined, to just come by and watch work in progress, see what's possible, see what basic forms there are and how you can adapt those and some of the ideas that other people have used during the course of their lifetimes and so forth. Talk a little bit about that opportunity for folks who can come here and see you.
One thing I would say about us is we do all of our own work. So we do the sandblasting, we have a laser to do all the laser etching. Antoine is an artist, he can hand etch on the monuments. So I think that's one thing that makes us unique is we have the ability to do everything in-house.
Yeah, and the best way to get to know about that is to just stop by or give us a call. Our website is also another great resource if you are looking for inspiration or information.
Inspiration and information, I like that. The two eyes. And remember, folks, St. Joe Monument's skilled and caring team can help create a lasting tribute to your family members, and it only takes a call or a visit to get the ball rolling and get things started. Remember, too, that you can watch this or any other edition of Moody on the Move at any time at moodyonthemove.com. It's all made possible by our friends at Midwest Family and Little Red Fern Productions, focused on video storytelling to drive engagement towards building brands. We'll see you next time that we take Moody on the Move.